Unbreakable Discipline. Stoicism for Ultimate Success. Before we dive into this powerful audiobook, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're ready to learn something life-changing. Your support helps bring more audiobooks like this to the channel. Introduction. The Path of Unbreakable Discipline. Success isn't about luck, talent, or even intelligence. It's about discipline, cold, relentless discipline. If you don't have it, you don't win. Period. You can talk all you want about wanting to achieve greatness, but without the iron will to control your actions, thoughts, and emotions, you're just another weakling chasing fantasies. Discipline isn't a choice, it's a necessity. And no philosophy captures the essence of unbreakable discipline better than Stoicism. Stoicism is not some highbrow intellectual exercise for philosophers in robes. It's the hard truth, the framework that builds men and women who dominate life. This is not about surviving. This is about thriving, about taking control of your mind, your actions, and your future. The Stoics, people like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, weren't talking in metaphors. They lived in the trenches, they dealt with hardship, war, and adversity, and they knew how to conquer it. They understood that discipline equals power, freedom, and success. This book isn't about feeling good or patting yourself on the back for trying. This is a guide for the ambitious, for those who want to rise above mediocrity and own their life completely. It's time to face the truth. Most people are weak because they refuse to master themselves. They make excuses, they blame circumstances, they fold under pressure. That's not going to be you. You're here because you want more power, more control, more success. You're here to develop the kind of discipline that makes you unstoppable. Stoicism is the ultimate mental framework for high achievers. Why? Because it strips away the fluff, the nonsense, the excuses. It forces you to face reality and deal with it head-on. Stoicism doesn't care about how you feel, it cares about what you do. It teaches you that discipline is freedom. That's right, freedom. The freedom to act without hesitation, the freedom to stay calm under pressure, the freedom to rise above every challenge life throws at you. You think you're free now? You're not. You're a slave to your impulses, your emotions, your fears. But with discipline, with the Stoic mindset, you gain real control. You gain power over yourself, and that's where true freedom lies. This is the blueprint. The Stoics have given you the keys to success, and I'm going to show you how to use them. Forget the idea that philosophy is about contemplation and passivity. Stoicism is about action. It's about applying ancient wisdom to crush modern challenges. Every principle, every strategy in this book is designed to help you dominate in your field, whether you're an entrepreneur, an athlete, a leader, or someone simply determined to rise above mediocrity. Understand this. Modern success is built on ancient wisdom. There's nothing new under the sun when it comes to mental toughness, resilience, and discipline. The Stoics figured it out centuries ago, and the people who win today, they're the ones who have figured out how to apply these same principles to modern life. This is about survival in a world full of weaklings. It's about thriving while everyone else is crumbling. Here's what you're going to learn. You'll learn how to master your mind. Because before you can conquer the world, you've got to conquer yourself. You'll learn how to build emotional invincibility, how to turn pain and failure into power, and how to crush the negativity that destroys most people from the inside out. You'll learn the art of relentless focus, because chaos is everywhere, and the Stoic never loses control. You'll learn how to dominate the present, to own the moment, and stop procrastinating like the rest of the world does. You'll learn the art of self-discipline, your most powerful weapon, and how to use discomfort as a tool to sharpen your edge. You'll master Stoic leadership and how to influence and dominate without manipulation or weakness. But most importantly, you're going to learn how to build unbreakable resilience. Life is going to knock you down. It's going to test you. But Stoicism will teach you how to rise every single time, stronger than before. You'll learn to embrace the struggle, to love the grind, to see obstacles as opportunities. And in the end, you'll live without fear, because once you've mastered your mind and embraced Stoicism, fear has no hold on you. This book isn't for the faint of heart. It's for those who want to dominate. It's for those who are willing to embrace the hard truth that discipline is the foundation of success, that freedom comes from control, and that real power is built on unshakable mental toughness. You want success? You want to rise to the top? Then it's time to develop unbreakable discipline. Stoicism will show you how. The path to freedom, to power, to success starts with you taking control of yourself. No more excuses, no more weakness. It's time to dominate. Let's get started. Chapter 1. Mastering the Mind, the Battlefield of Control. Before you even think about dominating the world, before you dream of conquering your industry or rising to the top, you've got to conquer the most important battlefield there is: your mind. The reality is this: you can have all the talent, ambition, and drive in the world, but if you can't control your mind, you're already defeated. The real war isn't out there, it's inside. And until you master yourself, you'll always be at the mercy of your weaknesses. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. Right now, most people let their mind destroy them. They don't even realize they're sabotaging their own potential. They listen to the voices of doubt, fear, insecurity, and let those voices dictate their actions, or worse, inaction. But here's the cold truth. The only thing standing between you and success is the narrative playing inside your head. Control that narrative, and you control everything. The Stoics knew this better than anyone. They understood that perception, how you choose to interpret the world around you, is everything. You don't control the events that happen in your life, but you control how you react to them. That's where your power lies. Marcus Aurelius, arguably one of the most powerful men in history, understood this on a deep level. He ruled an empire, but he knew that true control came not from external power, but from mastery over his own thoughts. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That's where you need to start. The Stoic principle of mastery over perception is the foundation of mental toughness. You've got to train yourself to see things for what they are, neutral events, and not let your emotions or weak thoughts distort reality. Reality is shaped by how you interpret events, not the events themselves. If you lose a deal, fail a test, or face rejection, what does that mean? Most people crumble because they let these setbacks define them. But the Stoic sees every event as neutral. It's not the failure that matters, it's what you do with it. The first step in mastering your mind is crushing excuses. Excuses are the language of the weak. Every time you make an excuse, you're telling the world, and yourself, that you're not in control. I didn't have enough time. It wasn't the right opportunity. I'm just not ready. Bullshit. These are just weak mental narratives designed to protect your fragile ego from facing the truth. You didn't make it happen because you didn't choose to. That's it. The Stoic mindset eliminates excuses at the root. You didn't get the result? Own it. That's power. The moment you take full responsibility for everything in your life, successes and failures, is the moment you gain real control. When you control your mind, you control your life. But controlling your mind isn't about some passive meditation exercise. It's about rewiring your entire mindset for dominance. Weak minds crumble under pressure, they make excuses, they avoid discomfort. Strong minds thrive in adversity because they've trained themselves to take full responsibility for every outcome. The Stoic warrior knows that external events are irrelevant. What matters is how you choose to respond to them. Here's where the modern world gets it wrong. They tell you to follow your feelings. They glorify emotional reactions, acting like your feelings are some kind of guiding force. But here's the truth. Your emotions are weak. They're fleeting impulses, and if you let them control your life, you'll be like a leaf in the wind, blown around by whatever circumstances happen to come your way. The Stoics taught the exact opposite. They didn't deny that emotions exist, they just didn't let emotions drive the car. You feel anger? Fine. But that anger doesn't get to decide what you do next. You feel fear? Good. But that fear isn't going to stop you from taking action. That's real control. Every day you're hit with challenges, frustrations, and distractions. People test your patience, things don't go as planned, and obstacles pop up out of nowhere. The weak react. They snap, they complain, they fall apart. The Stoic doesn't react, they choose how to respond. And that's what gives them power. In every situation, you have a choice. You can either let your emotions dictate your actions, or you can master your mind and decide how to handle it. That's the battlefield of control. The Stoic approach is brutally simple. Take responsibility for your mind. If your thoughts are weak, your actions will be weak. If you're constantly filled with doubt, negativity, and fear, you'll never take the bold actions needed to dominate. You need to be ruthless with your mind, just like you'd be ruthless with an enemy. Every time a weak thought creeps in, crush it. You need to condition your mind to respond to challenges with clarity, not emotion. When setbacks hit, and they will, you need to be so mentally strong that you don't even flinch. Look at the greatest achievers in any field, athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders. Do you think they got there by letting emotions drive their decisions? Hell no. They got there by mastering their minds, by staying calm under pressure, and by refusing to let setbacks or emotions dictate their actions. That's what you need to train yourself to do. You need to become bulletproof in the face of adversity. It all comes down to this. The only person who can control your mind is you. No one else can do it for you. You can either let your emotions, fears, and doubts run wild, or you can take command and dictate your own narrative. That's the power of Stoicism. It teaches you that while you may not control external events, you have absolute control over how you interpret and respond to those events. And when you realize that, you become unstoppable. Mastering the mind is the foundation of unbreakable discipline. Without it, you're a slave to your emotions, impulses, and weaknesses. With it, you're a warrior, calm, composed, and in control, no matter what life throws at you. So, the question is, are you ready to take full responsibility for your mind? Because that's the first step to dominating your life. Control your mind, and you control your world. Fail to do that, and you'll be controlled by whatever chaos surrounds you. The choice is yours. Chapter 2. Emotional Invincibility. Turn pain into power. Let's cut through the nonsense. Life will hit you hard. You will experience pain, setbacks, and failure. That's a fact. But here's where the winners separate themselves from the weak. It's not about avoiding pain, it's about mastering it. The difference between the strong and the fragile isn't that the strong never face hardship, it's that they use hardship as fuel. The Stoic doesn't crumble when adversity hits, they thrive in it. They turn pain into power. Here's the brutal truth. Most people are emotional slaves. Their emotions run their lives. When things go wrong, they break. When they experience pain, they look for a way out, anything to escape discomfort. But if you want to dominate life, you need to master the art of emotional invincibility. This means being able to control your emotional responses, no matter what happens. The weak react, the Stoic responds. And in that gap between reaction and response lies the power to turn every setback into an opportunity for growth. The Stoics developed a concept called apatheia, which means emotional equanimity, remaining calm, regardless of the storm around you. This isn't about being numb or suppressing your emotions. It's about gaining such mastery over your emotions that you control them, not the other way around. When you develop this level of emotional control, you become unshakable. You move through life with clarity and purpose, unburdened by the chaotic whims of your feelings. Think about it. The world is chaotic. Every day, you're hit with situations that could derail you: failure, criticism, betrayal, loss. Most people let these things destroy their focus and motivation. They get emotionally knocked out of the game. But here's the truth: pain is inevitable. You can't escape it. What you can control is how you deal with it. Pain, hardship, failure. These things don't define you unless you let them. The Stoic principle of apatheia teaches you to remain calm, composed, and strong, no matter how heavy the blows are. Here's the thing. Pain is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. Pain is feedback. It's information about where you're weak, where you need to improve, and how far you can push yourself. When you embrace this reality, you stop running from pain and start using it. Every setback becomes an opportunity. Every failure becomes fuel. This is how the Stoic turns pain into power, by seeing it as a necessary part of growth. Think about a weightlifter in the gym. The process of building muscle is literally tearing your muscles apart so they can rebuild stronger. The pain is part of the process. If you avoid it, you'll stay weak forever. Life works the same way. Emotional pain, challenges, and adversity are the weights you have to lift. Most people back off the moment it gets uncomfortable. But the Stoic? The Stoic knows that discomfort is where the real strength is built. When you face pain, you have two choices. You can let it break you, or you can let it make you. Most people choose the first option. They crumble, they complain, they run. But if you want to be emotionally invincible, you need to choose the second option. You need to lean into the pain, embrace it, and use it to fuel your rise. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering is what happens when you resist pain, when you refuse to accept it as part of the journey. Here's how you turn pain into power. First, you acknowledge it. Don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Look it dead in the eye and say, "I see you." This is what the Stoics did. They didn't pretend that pain didn't exist. They faced it head on. And by acknowledging it, they stripped it of its power. The moment you accept that pain is part of life, it loses its grip on you. Next, you reframe the pain. Most people look at hardship and think, "Why me? That's weak." The Stoic looks at hardship and thinks, "Good. What can I learn from this?" Pain is a tool. It reveals where you're weak, where you need to grow, and how much stronger you can become. When you reframe pain as an opportunity for growth, you stop fearing it. You stop letting it control you. Instead, you use it as a stepping stone to greater strength. You also need to develop emotional endurance. Emotional invincibility doesn't mean you never feel anything. It means you're in control of what you feel. When setbacks hit, you don't react with panic, fear, or anger. You process those emotions, but you don't let them dictate your actions. This is emotional endurance, the ability to feel pain without being derailed by it. It's a skill you build, just like physical endurance. The more you practice facing emotional discomfort, the stronger you become. Here's a fact. Life is never going to be easy. It's going to test you. But the Stoic doesn't ask for an easy life. The Stoic asks for the strength to handle whatever comes. When you build emotional invincibility, you become the kind of person who can handle anything. You stop looking for comfort, and you start seeking out challenges because you know that's where the real growth happens. Think about the strongest people you know, the leaders, the athletes, the entrepreneurs who seem unshakable. They've all been through pain. They've all faced failure. The difference between them and everyone else is that they didn't let that pain destroy them. They turned it into fuel. They embraced the struggle and came out stronger on the other side. That's emotional invincibility. You need to train yourself to thrive in the chaos. Life isn't going to hand you success on a silver platter. It's going to test you, throw obstacles in your path, and try to break you. But when you've mastered your emotions, you can look at all of that and say, "Bring it on." Pain isn't something to fear, it's something to use. It's what sharpens you, what hardens you, what prepares you for greatness. Emotional invincibility is about developing the mindset that no matter what happens, you remain unshaken. You're calm in the storm. You don't react emotionally, you respond strategically. That's the power of Stoicism. It teaches you that while the world may throw chaos your way, you remain in control of yourself. And that's all that matters. So, when life hits you with pain, don't flinch. Don't complain. Don't run. Face it. Embrace it. Use it. Every time you feel the sting of failure, the weight of adversity, or the bite of discomfort, you're being given a chance to grow. The Stoic doesn't break. The Stoic doesn't fold. The Stoic turns pain into power. And that's exactly what you're going to do. Embrace the pain, master your emotions, and turn every hardship into fuel for your rise. This is how you become emotionally invincible, how you build unshakable mental toughness, and how you dominate in a world full of weakness. Chapter 3. Kill negativity, the enemy within. Negativity is poison. It's the invisible force that drains your potential, saps your energy, and keeps you playing small. But most people don't even realize it. They walk around with minds infected by negativity, constantly allowing doubt, fear, and toxic thoughts to control them. And here's the harsh truth. If you don't eliminate negativity, you'll never win. You can be talented, driven, and hardworking, but if your mind is poisoned with negativity, you'll sabotage yourself every step of the way. Here's what you need to understand. Negativity is your greatest enemy. It's not the competition, it's not the circumstances, it's the voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, that things will never work out, that the world is against you. That voice? It's lying, and it's keeping you weak. If you want to dominate life, if you want to rise to the top, you have to kill that negativity without mercy. It's not just holding you back, it's actively destroying your potential. The Stoics knew this, and that's why they developed strategies to crush negativity at its root. Negativity is insidious. It comes in many forms: self-doubt, fear of failure, pessimism, and even the influence of negative people around you. And once it takes hold, it spreads. It infects every part of your life, your thoughts, your actions, and ultimately, your results. The more you let negativity in, the more you'll find yourself hesitating, second-guessing, and ultimately, failing. That's not how winners operate. You need to develop a mind that's a fortress, impenetrable to negativity and outside influences that sap your strength. The Stoics had a powerful concept called amor fati, which means love of fate. It's the ultimate antidote to negativity. Amor fati is the practice of accepting everything that happens, good or bad, as necessary for your growth and success. It's the mindset that nothing is inherently negative, it's all part of the process. When you adopt this Stoic mindset, negativity dies because you stop seeing events as bad. Everything becomes fuel for your rise. Every setback, every failure, every challenge is just another step on the path to greatness. Most people spend their lives fighting reality, resisting what happens to them, and complaining when things don't go their way. That's weakness. The Stoic knows that the only way to win is to embrace everything that happens. You don't waste time complaining about setbacks or wishing things were different. You accept reality, and you use it to your advantage. This mindset is what allows you to kill negativity at its source. When you stop labeling events as bad, and start seeing them as opportunities for growth, negativity loses its power. But here's the real battle. It's not just about external events. It's about the negative thoughts that come from within. The thoughts that tell you you're not good enough, that you're going to fail, that you're not cut out for greatness. These thoughts are the real enemy. And if you don't actively combat them, they'll destroy you from the inside out. Most people allow negative self-talk to run rampant in their minds. They feed into it, they nurture it, and then they wonder why they never succeed. You need to shut that down. Here's how the Stoics dealt with it. They developed mental filters. They trained themselves to ignore and reject any thought that didn't serve their growth. When a negative thought popped up, they didn't entertain it. They didn't argue with it. They simply refused to give it any attention. This is what you need to do. Every time a negative thought enters your mind, you have a choice. Let it stay and poison your mindset, or kill it immediately. You choose what thoughts you give power to. If a thought doesn't serve your mission, kill it. No excuses. No second chances. Think of your mind as a fortress. You wouldn't let an enemy waltz in and take control, would you? Then why would you allow negative thoughts to take up space in your head? You need to guard your mind like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Every negative thought that you allow in weakens your defense. And once negativity takes root, it's hard to get rid of. You've got to be ruthless. Every time a negative thought shows up, whether it's doubt, fear, or self-criticism, kick it out immediately. But it's not just about killing your own negative thoughts. It's about eliminating the negative influences around you. The people in your life who are constantly complaining, doubting, and criticizing, they're infecting you. You might not even realize it, but their negativity is seeping into your mindset. The more time you spend around negative people, the more you'll start to think like them. And that's not something you can afford. You need to surround yourself with people who push you to be better, who challenge you, who bring positive energy into your life. You need to create an environment where negativity can't survive. Here's the thing. The world is full of negativity. It's everywhere. On the news, on social media, in the people around you. But if you want to be successful, you can't afford to let any of it in. You need to build mental filters that let in only what serves your growth. That means tuning out the noise, rejecting the negativity, and focusing only on what pushes you forward. The Stoic mindset is impenetrable. The world can throw whatever it wants at you, negativity, doubt, fear, but none of it gets in because you've trained your mind to filter it out. Look around at the most successful people in any field. Do you think they spend their time worrying about what could go wrong? Do you think they let negativity rule their decisions? Absolutely not. They've built their minds into fortresses. They don't entertain doubt. They don't listen to negativity. They're so focused on their mission that nothing else matters. That's the level you need to get to. You need to be so focused on your goals that negativity doesn't even register. Negativity is the enemy. It's the voice that tells you to settle, to give up, to play it safe. It's the force that keeps you stuck in mediocrity. But you don't have time for that. You're here to dominate. You're here to rise above the noise and reach levels of success that most people can't even imagine. And to do that, you need to kill negativity at its root. You need to develop a mind that rejects doubt, that thrives on adversity, and that uses every setback as a stepping stone. The Stoics didn't flinch in the face of hardship. They didn't complain about their circumstances or let negativity hold them back. They used everything, good and bad, to fuel their rise. That's the mindset you need to adopt. Every negative thought, every piece of criticism, every setback, it's all just fuel for your growth. It's all part of the process. Kill the negativity, and you'll unlock the true potential of your mind. Your mind is your greatest asset or your biggest liability. The choice is yours. If you allow negativity to control you, you'll never rise to greatness. But if you build a mindset that's immune to negativity, if you train yourself to see every challenge as an opportunity, you become unstoppable. You kill negativity, and in its place, you build strength, resilience, and the mental toughness to dominate anything that comes your way. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to let negativity poison your potential? Or are you going to kill it, once and for all, and build the kind of mind that makes success inevitable? The choice is yours, but if you want to win, there's only one option. Chapter 4. Relentless focus. Control the chaos, control your life. Let me break it down for you. In a world full of distractions, your ability to focus is your most valuable weapon. The modern world is designed to pull you in every direction: notifications, social media, news cycles, people vying for your attention. Most people let these distractions control their lives, and then they wonder why they aren't getting anywhere. But not you. You're different. If you want to rise above the rest, you need to master relentless focus. When you control your focus, you control your life. Here's the thing. Everyone is chasing something. Success, wealth, power. But very few people ever achieve it. Why? Because they can't focus. They're too busy jumping from one thing to the next, distracted by every little piece of nonsense that comes their way. The truth is, focus is the separator. It's what divides those who thrive from those who drift. The Stoics understood this deeply. They didn't get caught up in chaos or distractions. They focused solely on what they could control and tuned out everything else. This is the mindset you need to dominate. The Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control is your guide here. It's simple but powerful. Focus on what you can control, and ignore what you can't. Most people waste their energy stressing over things they have no power over, other people's opinions, external events, outcomes they can't predict. That's weakness. The Stoic focuses entirely on what is within their control. Their thoughts, their actions, and their responses. When you master this, you free yourself from the mental clutter that holds most people back. You become laser-focused on what actually moves the needle in your life. Relentless focus isn't about multitasking, jumping from one goal to the next, or trying to do everything at once. It's about going all in on what matters. Most people spread themselves too thin. They start 10 projects but finish none. They have big dreams but no execution. Why? Because they're distracted. They can't stay focused long enough on one thing to make any real progress. If you want to dominate, you need to train yourself to lock in on your goals with tunnel vision. You need to learn how to block out the noise and stay focused on the mission. Focus isn't just about what you pay attention to, it's also about what you ignore. There's no shortage of distractions vying for your time, energy, and mental bandwidth. Every notification, every email, every phone call is an attempt to pull you off course. The winners in life are those who can say no. The Stoics were masters of this. They understood that your attention is your most valuable resource, and you can't afford to waste it on things that don't matter. You need to do the same. You need to ruthlessly eliminate distractions and focus only on what will get you closer to your goals. Look at the most successful people in any field. They didn't get there by chasing every opportunity, by indulging in every distraction. They got there by mastering focus. They decided what mattered most, and they went after it with everything they had. While everyone else is getting distracted, scrolling mindlessly, or wasting time on irrelevant tasks, they're locked in, executing. That's the level of focus you need to develop if you want to win. But let's be real, this isn't easy. We live in a world that's constantly trying to steal your attention. If you don't guard your focus, you'll get pulled into the chaos like everyone else. That's why you need to train yourself to control the chaos, not let it control you. You need to set the agenda for your life, not let the world dictate it for you. Every time you allow yourself to get distracted, you're giving up control. And if you're not in control of your focus, you're not in control of your life. Here's how you build relentless focus. First, you need to get clear on your goals. You can't focus on everything, so you need to decide what matters most. What are the few things that, if achieved, will change everything for you? Once you know that, you need to commit to those things fully. No half-hearted efforts, no distractions. You commit to going all in. Everything else is noise. Next, you need to build the discipline to eliminate distractions. That means setting boundaries with your time, cutting out activities that don't serve your goals, and learning to say no to anything that doesn't move you closer to your mission. This is hard for most people because they're addicted to distraction. They don't even realize it, but they've trained their brains to seek out constant stimulation. Every notification, every buzz, every like gives them a little hit of dopamine. That's weakness. You need to train yourself to break free from that cycle. You need to create an environment where distractions can't reach you. Focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Start small. Set a block of time each day where you work on your most important task with zero distractions. No phone, no social media, no interruptions. Train yourself to stay locked in for that period, no matter what. Over time, increase the duration of these focus blocks. The goal is to develop the ability to focus deeply for extended periods of time, without allowing your mind to wander or get distracted. But focus isn't just about work. It's about how you approach every aspect of life. When you're with your family, be with them. Don't let your mind wander or get sucked into your phone. When you're in the gym, be in the gym. Don't let yourself get distracted by anything other than the task at hand. This is how you train your mind to stay locked in. The more you practice focus, the more it becomes second nature. Here's the bottom line. If you can control your focus, you can control your results. The Stoic never allows the chaos of the world to distract him from his mission. He stays locked in, day after day, relentlessly focused on what he can control. You need to adopt the same mindset. Forget about what everyone else is doing. Forget about distractions, about shiny objects, about the opinions of others. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is your ability to stay focused on your mission. You're not here to dabble, to try a little bit of everything. You're here to win, and winners know that focus is the key to victory. So, get clear on what you want, commit to it fully, and block out everything that doesn't serve that mission. Relentless focus is what separates the elite from the mediocre. It's what allows you to rise above the noise and dominate your field. When you control the chaos, you control your life. And when you control your life, nothing can stop you. Now, it's time to lock in. The world is full of distractions, but you're going to stay focused. You're going to tune out the noise, stay locked in on your goals, and dominate. That's the Stoic way. That's the path to ultimate success. Chapter 5. Own the present, the power of now. There's a simple truth that most people refuse to accept. The past is dead, and the future doesn't exist. The only time that matters is right now. But instead of owning the present moment, people waste their lives dwelling on past mistakes or worrying about what might happen tomorrow. They're caught up in distractions, in regret, in fear of the future. And while they're trapped in that mental prison, life slips through their fingers. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They knew that the only thing you truly have control over is the present moment. That's it. The past is gone. It's untouchable. You can't change it, so why waste time thinking about it? The future is uncertain. It hasn't even arrived yet. What you can control is what you do right now, and if you master that, you master life. Owning the present is the most powerful weapon you can have because when you dominate the moment, you set yourself up for success in everything that follows. People like to fool themselves into thinking they have plenty of time. I'll do it tomorrow, they say, pushing off important tasks, conversations, and goals for some imagined future where everything is perfect. But here's the reality: tomorrow doesn't exist. It's just a concept. The only thing that's real is what you choose to do in this very moment. The Stoics lived by this truth. They didn't waste time. They understood that procrastination is just another form of fear, a weakness that prevents you from taking control of your life. If you want to dominate life, you need to adopt this mindset. You need to stop living in the past or the future and start owning the present moment. Every time you choose to act in the now, every time you make a decision based on the reality of this moment, you gain power. You stop being reactive and start being proactive. You take control, not just of your actions, but of your entire destiny. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think that if they dwell on the past enough, they can fix it. They spend hours, days, sometimes years replaying old mistakes, missed opportunities, or failed relationships, hoping that somehow, it will change things. But it won't. The past is dead, and no amount of reflection or regret is going to change that. The Stoics had no patience for this kind of thinking. They knew that the only proper response to the past is to learn from it and move forward. That's it. You don't wallow in it. You don't let it drag you down. You take the lesson, and you apply it to the present moment. The future is just as dangerous. People worry about what might happen. They plan endlessly, trying to control an outcome that hasn't even arrived yet. But here's the thing. No matter how much you plan, the future is uncertain. You can't control it. The Stoics understood this deeply. They didn't waste time obsessing over future outcomes. Instead, they focused on taking action in the present because they knew that the only way to shape the future is by owning the present moment. Living in the now isn't just about taking action, it's about being fully present in everything you do. Most people go through life on autopilot, half checked out, letting their minds wander while they go through the motions. But here's the truth. If you're not fully engaged with what's happening in front of you, you're wasting your life. The Stoics taught that to live in accordance with nature means being fully present in every action. Whether you're working, training, spending time with family, or just sitting in silence, you give your full attention to the moment. That's how you unlock real power and control. Let's talk about how you can apply this in your life. First, you need to develop daily routines that anchor you in the present. Most people drift through their days, reacting to whatever comes their way. That's weak. You need to set the agenda for your day and take control from the moment you wake up. The Stoics were disciplined about their routines. They knew that the more control you have over your daily actions, the more control you have over your life. When you structure your day with intention, you stop reacting to life and start owning it. Next, you need to eliminate procrastination. Procrastination is the enemy of owning the present. It's the lie you tell yourself when you don't want to face the discomfort of taking action right now. But every time you procrastinate, you're giving up control. You're letting the future dictate your life instead of dominating the present. The Stoics believed that the key to success was simple. Do what needs to be done now. Not later, not when you feel like it, but right now. They didn't waste time on excuses. They knew that every moment spent procrastinating was a moment of weakness, and they refused to live like that. The final piece is mastering your thoughts. Your mind is constantly trying to pull you into the past or the future, replaying old mistakes or worrying about future outcomes. But you need to train your mind to stay in the present. This takes discipline. Every time your mind starts drifting, you bring it back. Every time you catch yourself worrying about the future or obsessing over the past, you refocus on what you can do right now. This is the essence of Stoic mindfulness, not a passive, meditative state, but an active, disciplined practice of staying fully engaged in the present moment. Here's the harsh truth. Most people are living in a fantasy. They're not grounded in the now. They're either stuck in regret, living in the past, or paralyzed by fear, trapped in the future. That's why they never get anywhere. But if you can learn to own the present, to dominate the moment you're in, everything changes. You stop worrying about what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow, and you focus on what you can control right now. That's the Stoic way. When you own the present, you unlock true power. You stop being a victim of circumstances, and you start creating your own reality. You understand that the past is dead, and the future is unwritten, but the present? The present is yours to shape. Every action you take right now is building your future. Every decision you make in this moment is setting the course for what comes next. When you embrace this truth, you become unstoppable. So here's the challenge. Stop wasting time. Stop living in the past. Stop worrying about the future. Start owning the present moment. Take control of your day, your actions, and your mind. Train yourself to focus on what you can do right now, and watch how your life changes. The Stoics knew that the secret to ultimate success lies in mastering the present. Now it's your turn to apply it. Own the present. Master the now. That's where your power lies. Chapter 6. The Art of Self-Discipline, Your Inner Weapon. Discipline isn't just a trait, it's a weapon. Without it, you're weak, fragile, and at the mercy of your impulses. With it, you're a force of nature, unshakable and unstoppable. Self-discipline is the single most important factor in whether you succeed or fail. It's what separates the elite from the mediocre. If you want to dominate in life, you need to forge your discipline into something so unbreakable that no challenge, no temptation, no adversity can bend you. Here's the truth. Most people are slaves to their desires. They do what feels good in the moment and then wonder why they aren't progressing. They hit snooze, skip the gym, procrastinate on their goals, and indulge in comfort because it's easy. And that's the problem. Discipline isn't easy. It's hard. But that's the point. The moment you start choosing the hard path, the path of discipline, you begin to build the life you want. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you sharpen your mind, your body, and your willpower. And with enough repetitions, you become unbeatable. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that without discipline, all the knowledge in the world meant nothing. Marcus Aurelius, a man who could have easily indulged in every luxury available to him as emperor, practiced relentless discipline. He structured his days with precision, sticking to routines and rituals that reinforced his mental toughness. He didn't rely on motivation, he relied on discipline. Because motivation is fleeting, but discipline? Discipline is eternal. It's what keeps you on track when the grind gets tough, when the distractions pile up, and when the easy path looks so damn tempting. Here's where most people fail. They think discipline is a feeling. They wait to feel motivated before they act. That's weakness. Discipline has nothing to do with feelings. It's about doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. The Stoics taught that you don't let your emotions dictate your actions. You do what's necessary, whether it's uncomfortable, whether you feel like it or not. This is the essence of self-discipline, choosing the hard path because you know it leads to greatness. If you want to build unbreakable discipline, you need to start by creating daily rituals that reinforce it. The Stoics were big on routine. They knew that discipline isn't built in one heroic effort. It's built through consistent, daily action. You need to structure your day in a way that forces you to practice discipline. Get up at the same time every day. Train your body with intensity. Set aside time to work on your goals without distraction. These routines might seem simple, but they're the foundation for success. When you stick to your routines, even when you don't feel like it, you're training yourself to be disciplined in everything. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you resist the temptation to take the easy way out, you're strengthening your willpower. Every time you push through discomfort and stick to your commitments, you're building a mindset that can't be broken. But like any muscle, discipline requires consistent effort. You don't get strong by working out once. You get strong by showing up every day and putting in the work, no matter how you feel. The same goes for discipline. One of the most powerful tools the Stoics used to build discipline was the concept of voluntary discomfort. They didn't wait for hardship to come to them, they sought it out. They practiced going without luxuries, endured physical discomfort, and lived with less, even though they didn't have to. Why? Because they knew that comfort is the enemy of excellence. When you live in comfort, you get soft. When you live in discomfort, you get hard. Voluntary discomfort isn't about punishing yourself. It's about training yourself to handle whatever life throws at you. It's about building the mental toughness to thrive in adversity. Start small. Take cold showers. Fast for a day. Train harder than you think you can. Put yourself in situations that force you to push through discomfort. These aren't just physical challenges, they're mental ones. Every time you put yourself in a difficult situation and push through it, you're proving to yourself that you can handle more. You're conditioning your mind to embrace hardship instead of running from it. And over time, this builds the kind of discipline that allows you to face any challenge without hesitation. Most people are constantly chasing comfort. They look for shortcuts, easy wins, and instant gratification. That's why they fail. They're not willing to do what's hard, what's necessary. But if you want to rise above the masses, you need to live differently. You need to stop seeking comfort and start seeking discipline. Every time you choose discipline, you're choosing success. Every time you take the easy way out, you're choosing mediocrity. It's that simple. The Stoics taught that discipline isn't just about doing hard things. It's about mastering your desires. Most people are slaves to their impulses. They give in to every craving, every distraction, every fleeting desire. They live on autopilot, reacting to whatever feels good in the moment. But the Stoic? The Stoic controls their desires. They don't chase after every pleasure or indulge every craving. They say no to what doesn't serve them and yes to what moves them closer to their goals. That's real discipline. Here's the harsh truth. You can't have it all. You can't indulge in every desire and expect to reach your goals. You can't be disciplined and comfortable at the same time. You have to make sacrifices. You have to say no to the things that don't matter so you can say yes to the things that do. That's what discipline is about, making choices that serve your future, not your momentary pleasure. And the more you practice this, the easier it gets. Discipline becomes second nature. You stop thinking about it, and you just do it. But make no mistake, discipline is a lifelong practice. It's not something you achieve and then coast on. It's something you have to work at every single day. You'll be tested constantly, by temptation, by distractions, by setbacks. And every time you're tested, you have a choice. Give in to the weakness or stand firm in your discipline. The Stoics knew this, and that's why they trained themselves relentlessly. They knew that the world is full of things designed to pull you off course. Discipline is your defense. When you build unbreakable discipline, you unlock a level of power most people will never experience. You stop being controlled by your environment, your emotions, or your impulses. You become the master of yourself, and that's where real freedom lies. The Stoics understood that discipline isn't a restriction, it's the path to ultimate freedom. The freedom to act without hesitation, the freedom to pursue greatness without distraction, the freedom to live life on your own terms. So, here's the challenge. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop relying on how you feel. Start living with discipline. Structure your days, eliminate distractions, and practice voluntary discomfort. Train yourself to embrace the hard path, because that's where success is built. Every time you choose discipline, you're choosing to become stronger, sharper, and more resilient. And over time, that discipline will make you unstoppable. You're not here to live a life of comfort. You're here to dominate, and the only way to do that is with unbreakable discipline. So, take control, make the hard choices, build the habits that will carry you to the top. Discipline is your greatest weapon, use it. Chapter 7. Stoic Leadership, Influence, Dominate, Lead. Leadership isn't about titles, status, or being in charge. Leadership is about influence, about shaping the world around you with strength, clarity, and resilience. The weak think leadership is about control, about barking orders and demanding obedience. But real leadership, the kind that lasts, the kind that makes an impact, is built on Stoic principles. It's about leading by example, inspiring others with your actions, and dominating without manipulation or weakness. Here's the truth. The world is full of weak leaders, people who crumble under pressure, who lead by fear and insecurity, who don't practice what they preach. And because of that, they fail. They lose influence, they lose respect, and they lose control. But the Stoic leader? The Stoic leader is unshakable. They lead not by force, but by strength of character, clarity of vision, and an unbreakable commitment to their values. That's real power. The Stoics understood that leadership starts from within. You can't lead others if you can't first lead yourself. This is where most so-called leaders fail. They try to control others before they've mastered themselves. They think leadership is about making others obey, when in reality, it's about inspiring others to follow you because of the example you set. Stoic leadership isn't about coercion. It's about influence. And influence is only built through discipline, integrity, and strength. The first principle of Stoic leadership is integrity. If you don't lead with integrity, you're nothing. People might follow you out of obligation or fear, but they won't respect you, and they won't trust you. Leadership is built on trust, and trust is built on consistency, consistently doing the right thing, even when it's hard. The Stoics believed in living according to their principles, no matter the circumstances. That's why they were able to lead with such power. People trusted them because their actions aligned with their words. If you want to lead others, you need to start by leading yourself with integrity. That means no cutting corners, no making excuses, and no compromising your values. People can sense weakness and dishonesty a mile away. If they see that you don't hold yourself to a high standard, they won't follow you. But when you live with unshakable integrity, people will follow you willingly, because they know you stand for something bigger than yourself. They'll trust you because they see that you practice what you preach. The second principle of Stoic leadership is clarity. A leader without a clear vision is just a follower in disguise. You can't lead others if you don't know where you're going. The Stoic leader operates with laser-like focus. They know exactly what they want, and they know exactly how to get it. They don't get distracted by the noise or the opinions of others. They set the course, and they stick to it. This clarity of vision is what inspires others to follow, because people are drawn to certainty. In a world full of chaos and confusion, the Stoic leader stands firm, offering direction and purpose. Think about Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic leaders. As emperor, he faced constant turmoil, war, betrayal, plague, and yet, he never wavered in his vision for Rome. He led with calm, deliberate action, never letting external chaos cloud his judgment. That's the kind of clarity you need to develop. It's not about having all the answers. It's about knowing your principles, your mission, and staying committed to them, no matter what. When people see that you have a clear vision and unbreakable commitment, they'll follow you. The third principle of Stoic leadership is resilience. Leadership isn't easy. You're going to face setbacks, challenges, and failures. But here's where the weak leaders fall apart: they can't handle the pressure. They crack under the weight of responsibility, and they let fear and doubt cloud their judgment. But the Stoic leader? The Stoic leader thrives in adversity. They remain calm, composed, and unshaken, no matter what comes their way. That's why people follow them, because they know that when things get tough, the Stoic leader will still be standing strong. Resilience isn't just about surviving challenges, it's about growing stronger because of them. The Stoics believed that adversity is the ultimate teacher. They embraced challenges because they knew that every setback was an opportunity to sharpen their skills, to become better, to lead with more strength and wisdom. As a Stoic leader, you need to develop the mindset that nothing can break you. No matter how hard life hits, you get back up, stronger than before. This resilience is what sets true leaders apart from the rest. But leadership isn't just about yourself. It's about the people you lead. The Stoics taught that a true leader serves those they lead. Leadership isn't about elevating yourself, it's about lifting others up. The Stoic leader uses their influence not to control, but to empower. They inspire others to become better, to take ownership of their own lives, to push themselves beyond their limits. This is the difference between a tyrant and a leader. The tyrant seeks power for themselves. The Stoic leader seeks to build power in others. When you lead with strength, integrity, clarity, and resilience, you inspire others to do the same. You create a ripple effect, where your discipline and commitment influence those around you. People will naturally want to follow you because they see that you're not just leading for yourself. You're leading to make them stronger too. That's the ultimate form of leadership, when your influence helps others become leaders in their own right. So, how do you apply these Stoic principles of leadership in your life? First, you lead by example. You live with integrity, making sure that your actions align with your words. You lead with clarity, setting a clear vision for yourself and those around you. You lead with resilience, standing strong in the face of adversity and never letting setbacks break your resolve. And finally, you lead by serving. You use your influence to lift others up, to help them become stronger, more disciplined, and more capable. Leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. The Stoic leader doesn't have all the answers, but they have the discipline to keep moving forward, no matter what. They don't shy away from responsibility, they embrace it. They don't control people through fear, they inspire through strength. And most importantly, they lead themselves first, knowing that real leadership starts from within. The world needs strong leaders. Leaders who don't fold under pressure, leaders who stand firm in their principles, leaders who inspire others to be better. You need to become that leader. It's not about the title. It's not about the position. It's about how you show up in the world, every single day. Lead with integrity. Lead with clarity. Lead with resilience. And watch how the world follows you. The Stoic leader dominates without force, influences without manipulation, and leads without ego. That's real power. And that's the kind of leader you need to be if you want to make a lasting impact. Now, it's time to step up. The world is full of weak leaders. Be the exception. Be the Stoic leader that dominates not through control, but through strength, wisdom, and unwavering discipline. Chapter 8. Embrace the struggle. Strength in adversity. You want to know the truth about success? It's not built on comfort. It's not born from ease. It's forged in the fire of struggle, pain, and adversity. If you think you're going to reach the top without going through hell, you're delusional. The weak avoid struggle. They try to find shortcuts, ways around hardship, and then they wonder why they never achieve anything worthwhile. But the strong, the Stoic, embraces the struggle. They understand that it's not just a part of the journey, it is the journey. The struggle is where greatness is made. Here's the thing. Struggle isn't something you can avoid. Life is going to throw adversity at you whether you like it or not. Most people spend their lives running from it, trying to insulate themselves from discomfort, but all they're doing is making themselves weaker. Every time you avoid a challenge, every time you choose the easy way out, you're choosing mediocrity. If you want to rise above the masses, you have to do the opposite. You have to run toward the struggle. You have to see it for what it really is, an opportunity to become stronger, sharper, and more resilient. The Stoics lived by a principle called amor fati, which translates to love of fate. It's the idea that everything that happens to you, good or bad, is necessary for your growth. It's not enough to just accept adversity, you need to embrace it. You need to love the struggle because it's the very thing that's shaping you into the person you need to be. Every obstacle, every setback, every failure is fuel for your development. When you adopt this mindset, you stop fearing hardship, and you start welcoming it as a necessary part of your rise. Think about the people who have achieved greatness in any field. None of them got there by avoiding struggle. They were tested, they were pushed to their limits. And instead of backing down, they rose to meet the challenge. They understood that the struggle is what separates the weak from the strong. When you embrace adversity, you're training yourself to handle more, to endure more, and to grow from it. The more you embrace struggle, the stronger you become. It's that simple. The weak complain about the struggle. They act like life is unfair, like the world owes them an easy path. But here's the harsh truth. Life doesn't owe you anything. If you want something, you've got to earn it, and earning it means going through hell to get it. The Stoic doesn't complain. They don't waste time wishing things were easier. They take the struggle head on and use it to fuel their success. Every time they're knocked down, they get back up stronger. That's the Stoic way. Struggle isn't just about the external challenges you face, it's also about the internal battles. The fight against self-doubt, fear, and insecurity is just as important as the external battles. The weak let their minds defeat them before they've even stepped into the ring. They're so afraid of failure, so afraid of discomfort, that they never take action. But the Stoic understands that the real battle is always within. They conquer their internal demons first, and once they've mastered their minds, the external challenges don't stand a chance. Here's what you need to understand. Adversity is the ultimate teacher. It's through struggle that you learn who you really are. When everything is easy, you don't grow. You don't develop the mental toughness needed to handle real challenges. But when you're pushed to your limits, when you're tested, that's when you find out what you're really made of. The Stoics understood this deeply, which is why they sought out adversity instead of running from it. They practiced voluntary discomfort, putting themselves in challenging situations to prepare for the inevitable hardships life would throw their way. The problem with most people is that they live in a bubble of comfort. They avoid anything that might cause them pain or discomfort, and in doing so, they weaken themselves. They're not prepared for adversity when it strikes, and that's why they crumble. But if you want to succeed, if you want to dominate, you need to start embracing discomfort. You need to seek out challenges, push yourself beyond your limits, and train your mind and body to handle more than you ever thought possible. This is how you build real strength. This is how you become unstoppable. You need to train yourself to see struggle as a blessing, not a curse. Every time you face adversity, it's an opportunity to grow. Every time you fail, it's a lesson. Every time you're knocked down, it's a test of your resilience. The Stoic doesn't fear failure because they know that failure is part of the process. They don't fear setbacks because they know that setbacks are temporary. What matters is how you respond. Do you stay down, or do you rise up stronger? The answer to that question determines whether you succeed or fail. The Stoic embraces the struggle because they understand that it's the struggle that builds character. It's easy to be strong when everything is going your way, but true strength is built when things fall apart, when you're tested, when you have every reason to quit, but you don't. That's when real growth happens. That's when you separate yourself from the weak. The struggle isn't something to avoid, it's something to love, because it's shaping you into the person you need to be. Here's the reality. Life is going to be hard. You're going to face challenges, failures, and setbacks. But how you respond to those challenges is what defines you. The weak complain, give up, and play the victim. The strong embrace the struggle, learn from it, and come back stronger. The Stoic understands that life's challenges aren't a curse, they're a gift. Every hardship is an opportunity to build more strength, more resilience, and more discipline. That's the mindset you need to adopt if you want to win. So, the next time you face a challenge, the next time you feel the weight of adversity pressing down on you, don't run from it. Don't complain about it. Embrace it, love it, use it. This is how you grow. This is how you become stronger than you ever thought possible. The Stoic way is to embrace the struggle because it's the only way to true greatness. Remember, comfort is where mediocrity lives. Struggle is where champions are made. You have a choice. Live a life of comfort and stagnation, or embrace the grind and rise above everyone else. The path of struggle is hard, but it's the only path worth walking. So, stop fearing adversity. Start loving it. It's your greatest weapon in the pursuit of greatness. Embrace the struggle. Dominate through adversity. That's where real strength is built, and that's how you'll conquer life. Chapter 9. Unbreakable Resilience, Rising Every Time You Fall. Let's get one thing straight. Life is going to knock you down. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But here's the real question. What do you do when you hit the ground? Do you stay down, complain, and wait for someone to pick you up? Or do you rise, stronger than before, with a fire burning in your chest? The answer to that question separates the weak from the powerful. The Stoics understood that resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's about rising every time you fall, becoming harder, tougher, and more unshakable with each hit. The reality is this. Everyone gets knocked down. Everyone faces failure, hardship, and loss. But the ones who succeed in life, the ones who truly dominate, are the ones who refuse to stay down. Resilience isn't some nice-to-have quality, it's essential. If you're going to survive, let alone thrive, in this world, you need to be unbreakable. You need to develop the kind of resilience that nothing can destroy, no matter how hard life comes at you. The Stoics had a formula for resilience: perception, action, and will. These three pillars form the foundation of an unbreakable mindset. First, you need to control your perception. How you choose to see the world determines everything. When you're knocked down, you can either see it as the end or as a new beginning. You can either focus on the problem or the opportunity within it. The Stoics were masters of controlling their perception. They didn't see setbacks as failures, but as challenges to overcome, as tests to prove their strength. You need to adopt the same mindset. Every setback is a chance to rise stronger. Every failure is feedback, not defeat. Next comes action. Once you've reframed your perception, the next step is to take massive, decisive action. Too many people freeze when life hits them. They get stuck in their heads, overthinking, wondering why things went wrong. But that's a waste of time. The Stoic doesn't dwell on what went wrong. They focus on what can be done now. When you get knocked down, the only thing that matters is getting back up. It's not about how long you stay down, it's about how quickly you rise. Resilience is built in the moment you choose action over inaction, in the moment you decide to get up and keep moving forward. Finally, there's will, the most critical element of resilience. Will is your internal strength, your unshakable determination to keep going, no matter what. Willpower isn't about forcing yourself through pain, it's about having an internal drive so strong that nothing can break it. The Stoics believed that true resilience comes from within, from cultivating a will so powerful that external circumstances can't touch it. When life hits hard, the Stoic doesn't crumble because their will is stronger than the adversity they face. This is the ultimate form of resilience, the ability to endure anything because your spirit remains unbroken. Here's the brutal truth. Most people give up way too easily. They hit one obstacle, face one failure, and they throw in the towel. That's why they never succeed. But the Stoic warrior understands that failure is inevitable, and that's fine, because failure is the ultimate teacher. You're not going to get it right every time, and you're not supposed to. What matters is how you respond to failure. Do you let it define you, or do you let it refine you? Every time you get knocked down, you're given a choice: stay down or rise stronger. The Stoic always chooses to rise. Resilience isn't about never feeling pain or never facing setbacks, it's about knowing that no matter how hard life hits, you have the power to rise every single time. You have the strength to endure and the mindset to push through. The Stoics didn't shy away from hardship, they welcomed it, knowing that adversity is where real strength is forged. The more you endure, the stronger you become. And once you've built that unbreakable resilience, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you. But let's be real. Building resilience isn't easy. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, and it requires facing the hardest parts of yourself. Most people avoid this. They run from discomfort. But the Stoic knows that the only way to become unbreakable is to embrace the discomfort, to seek it out, and to use it as a tool for growth. You need to condition yourself to handle more, to take on bigger challenges, and to keep pushing forward when others quit. Here's how you do it. Start by preparing your mind for adversity before it even hits. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils, where they would mentally rehearse the worst-case scenarios. This wasn't about being pessimistic, it was about being prepared. When you mentally prepare for setbacks, you're not caught off guard when they happen. You're ready. You've already thought about how you'll respond, and you're not shaken when things don't go as planned. This is the first step to building resilience. Expect adversity, and train your mind to handle it. Next, practice enduring discomfort intentionally. Most people avoid discomfort at all costs, but if you want to build resilience, you need to expose yourself to it regularly. This is why the Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort. They would deliberately put themselves in difficult situations to build their mental toughness. Start by pushing yourself outside your comfort zone every day. Take on tasks that challenge you, that push your limits. Whether it's physical training, fasting, or tackling difficult projects, the more you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, the more resilient you become. You're training your mind and body to handle hardship, so when life hits you with real challenges, you're ready. But perhaps the most important part of resilience is understanding that you are in control of your response. Life will always throw obstacles your way, but you are always in control of how you choose to respond. That's where your power lies. The Stoic doesn't focus on what happens to them. They focus on how they react. This is the key to resilience: owning your response to adversity. When you realize that no external force can control you, you become unbreakable. The world can knock you down 100 times, but if you choose to rise each time, you've already won. Here's the bottom line. Resilience is the foundation of success. You can have all the talent, all the skills, and all the resources in the world, but if you crumble at the first sign of adversity, none of that matters. Resilience is what keeps you in the game long enough to win. It's what allows you to take hit after hit and still keep moving forward. The Stoics understood that true strength isn't about avoiding hardship, it's about thriving in it. So, what's your plan when life knocks you down? Are you going to stay down, feeling sorry for yourself? Or are you going to get back up, harder and more determined than ever? The choice is yours. But if you want to build a life of power, success, and dominance, there's only one option: rise. Every time, no matter what, you're going to face failure. You're going to face setbacks. But if you've trained your mind to be unbreakable, none of it will stop you. You'll rise every time, and each time you do, you'll be stronger. That's the power of resilience. That's how you become unstoppable. Embrace the falls. Rise every time. Build unbreakable resilience, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stand in your way. Chapter 10. The Stoic Warrior's Code: Live without fear. Fear is the ultimate enemy of success. It's what keeps people paralyzed, stuck, and living lives far beneath their potential. Most people are slaves to fear: fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of what others will think. But here's the reality. Fear is a construct of the mind, a phantom that exists only because you allow it to. And the truth is, once you learn to conquer fear, you unlock a power that makes you unstoppable. The Stoics understood this deeply, and they lived by a code that made them fearless in the face of life's greatest challenges. If you want to dominate in life, you need to live by the Stoic Warrior's Code: live without fear. Fear is an illusion. It's not real. It's a story your mind tells you to keep you safe, to protect you from discomfort and pain. But here's the thing. Safety and comfort are the enemies of growth. If you stay safe, if you stay comfortable, you will never achieve greatness. The Stoic warrior knows that the only way to truly live is to step into the unknown, to embrace uncertainty, and to face fear head-on. Fear doesn't hold them back because they've trained themselves to move through it, to act in spite of it. That's the essence of courage, not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. The Stoics believed that fear comes from our attachment to things we can't control. We fear loss, we fear failure, we fear rejection, all because we are attached to outcomes that are beyond our control. But here's the harsh truth. You don't control outcomes. You control your actions, your thoughts, and your responses, nothing else. When you fully internalize this, fear begins to lose its grip. You stop worrying about things you can't control, and you focus solely on what's in front of you, what you can do, right now. Think about it. What do most people fear? They fear failure. But failure is nothing to fear. It's just a part of the process. The Stoic knows that failure is inevitable and necessary for growth. When you understand that failure is just feedback, not a reflection of your worth, you stop fearing it. You embrace it, knowing that each failure is bringing you closer to success. Most people let fear of failure paralyze them. They don't even try because they're afraid of what might go wrong. But the Stoic knows that the only real failure is not trying at all. Fear of rejection is another trap that keeps people stuck. We crave acceptance, validation, approval from others. But here's the thing. The opinions of others are outside your control. You can't control what others think, what they say, or how they react. So why waste time fearing their judgment? The Stoic warrior understands that their worth isn't tied to external validation. They live by their own code, their own principles, and they don't seek approval from anyone else. When you stop caring about what others think, you free yourself from the chains of fear, and you begin to live authentically, with power and purpose. The Stoics also knew that fear is rooted in attachment to comfort. Most people fear stepping outside their comfort zone because it means facing the unknown, and the unknown is scary. But here's the truth. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. You can't achieve anything worthwhile by staying in your comfort zone. The Stoic warrior embraces discomfort because they know that's where real growth happens. They push themselves beyond their limits, not because it's easy, but because they know that's the only way to become stronger. The Stoic warrior's code is simple. Live without fear, because fear is weakness. Every time you let fear control you, you give away your power. But every time you face fear and act in spite of it, you take that power back. Fear doesn't disappear. It's always there, lurking in the background, waiting to hold you back. But the Stoic chooses to act regardless of the fear. They know that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the refusal to let fear dictate their actions. Here's how you can start living without fear. First, stop focusing on what could go wrong. Most people let fear control them because they're constantly thinking about the worst-case scenario. They imagine failure, embarrassment, and rejection, and that's what holds them back. But the Stoic doesn't waste time on that. Instead of worrying about what could go wrong, they focus on what they can control: their effort, their actions, and their mindset. Fear is only powerful if you give it your attention. Stop feeding it. Second, train yourself to take action in the face of fear. Fear thrives on inaction. The more you hesitate, the stronger the fear becomes. But the moment you take action, fear starts to lose its grip. The Stoics believed that action is the antidote to fear. When you act, you gain momentum, and that momentum crushes fear. Don't wait for the fear to go away before you act. It never will. Act first, and the fear will follow. Third, practice stepping outside your comfort zone daily. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the less power fear has over you. Start small. Do things that make you uncomfortable, things that scare you, and over time, you'll develop a tolerance for fear. The Stoics believed in training themselves to endure hardship, to seek out challenges, because they knew that true strength is built in the fire of discomfort. The more you push yourself, the more you realize that fear is just a mental barrier, not a real one. Finally, detach yourself from outcomes. Most fear comes from worrying about what might happen. But when you let go of the need for a specific outcome, you free yourself from fear. The Stoics taught that you should focus on the process, not the result. Do your best, give everything you have, but don't get attached to the outcome. Whether you win or lose, succeed or fail, isn't what matters. What matters is that you acted with courage, with integrity, and without fear. When you let go of the need for control over outcomes, fear loses its power. Living without fear isn't about recklessness. It's about understanding that fear is a mental construct, not a reality. The Stoic warrior faces fear head-on, knowing that it can't break them unless they let it. They embrace challenges, they seek out discomfort, and they act with courage in every situation. That's the mindset you need to develop if you want to rise above the masses. The world is full of people paralyzed by fear. Don't be one of them. The Stoic warrior's code is simple: fear nothing, act boldly, and live without hesitation. Fear is the only thing standing between you and the life you want. Once you conquer fear, once you stop letting it control you, you unlock a level of power that makes you unstoppable. That's the Stoic way. Now, it's time to put this into action. The next time you feel fear creeping in, the next time you start to doubt yourself or hesitate, remember this: fear is an illusion. It's not real. You have the power to act in spite of it, to move forward with courage, and to dominate whatever challenge lies ahead. Fear has no place in the life of a Stoic warrior. Live without fear, act without hesitation, dominate without doubt. That's the Stoic warrior's code, and that's how you win in life. Chapter 11. Crushing challenges with Stoic power moves. Life is full of challenges. That's a fact. Most people let these challenges break them, slow them down, or even stop them entirely. But not you. Not if you live by the Stoic way. You're not here to merely survive life's obstacles. You're here to crush them. Every challenge is an opportunity to prove your strength, your resolve, and your discipline. The weak complain about obstacles. The Stoic flips them to his advantage. This chapter is all about how to deal with challenges like a Stoic, relentlessly, strategically, and with complete dominance. Here's the reality. Challenges aren't setbacks, they're setups. They're setups for your growth, setups for you to level up. But most people are too weak to see it that way. They see a challenge and immediately think, why me? That's weakness. The Stoic doesn't ask why. He asks, how can I use this? You see, the Stoic mind is trained to view challenges as fuel, as opportunities to sharpen skills, harden resolve, and move closer to mastery. The Stoic knows that the bigger the challenge, the bigger the opportunity to grow. The first Stoic power move for crushing challenges is simple but powerful: control your response. You don't always control the challenges that life throws at you. You can't control the economy, other people's actions, or the random events that seem to come out of nowhere. But you always control how you respond. This is where most people fail. They react emotionally, they panic, they make excuses. But the Stoic responds with calm, deliberate action. When a challenge hits, don't react. Step back, assess the situation, and respond strategically. This keeps you in control, no matter how chaotic things might seem. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This Stoic principle means that every obstacle is actually the path forward. The thing that you think is stopping you is, in fact, your greatest opportunity. The problem most people face is that they see the obstacle and stop. They freeze, they give up, they complain. But the Stoic looks at the obstacle and sees it as the path to success. The challenge itself becomes the way to move forward. This mindset shift is a game changer. Instead of fearing challenges, you embrace them, knowing that they are the very things that will propel you to the next level. The second Stoic power move is reframing failure. You've been taught to fear failure, to see it as something negative, something to avoid. That's a lie. Failure isn't your enemy, it's your best teacher. Most people get crushed by failure because they see it as the end. They fail, and they give up. But the Stoic sees failure as part of the process. It's not an endpoint, it's a stepping stone. Every failure is feedback. It tells you where you need to improve, where your weaknesses lie, and how you can come back stronger. If you're not failing, you're not pushing hard enough. Failure isn't something to be feared, it's something to seek out, because it's where real growth happens. Think about this. The greatest successes in history didn't come from people who never failed. They came from people who failed over and over again but refused to quit. The Stoic knows that every time they fail, they're one step closer to success. Failure doesn't break them, it strengthens them. The weak give up after one setback. The Stoic pushes harder, learns from the mistake, and comes back even more determined. This is how you turn failure into fuel. The third Stoic power move is embracing discomfort. Let's be real, most people are soft. They run from anything that makes them uncomfortable. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. The Stoic thrives in discomfort because they know that discomfort is the breeding ground for strength. Every time you push through discomfort, every time you choose the hard path, you're building unbreakable resilience. You're training your mind and body to handle more, to endure more, and to dominate when others would crumble. Challenges are uncomfortable by nature. That's what makes them challenges. But if you want to rise above the crowd, you need to stop avoiding discomfort and start seeking it out. Whether it's physical discomfort from intense training or mental discomfort from taking on huge, risky projects, the Stoic puts himself in those situations because that's where real growth happens. It's not about seeking pain for pain's sake, it's about using discomfort to forge strength. Every challenge is a chance to step out of your comfort zone and into your greatness. The fourth Stoic power move is acting with relentless persistence. Let's be clear. Most people quit too soon. They hit a challenge, face some resistance, and they give up. They let doubt creep in, they start second-guessing themselves, and they stop pushing. That's why they fail. The Stoic knows that persistence is the key to winning. It's not about getting everything right the first time, it's about refusing to stop, no matter how hard the challenge is, no matter how many times you've been knocked down. When others quit, the Stoic keeps going. That's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. The Stoic doesn't care how long it takes. They don't care how many obstacles they face. They are relentless. They know that persistence outlasts everything. You don't have to be the most talented, the smartest, or the fastest. You just have to be the one who refuses to quit. That's how you crush challenges. You don't stop until you win. Finally, the fifth Stoic power move is maintaining a mindset of total ownership. You need to own every challenge you face. No blaming, no excuses. The moment you start blaming external factors for your problems, you give away your power. The Stoic knows that, while they can't control everything that happens to them, they can control how they deal with it. They own their decisions, their responses, and their results. This total ownership mindset is what gives the Stoic ultimate control over their life. When you own everything, you become unshakable. No challenge can break you because you're not a victim of your circumstances. You're in control of how you respond to them. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to demonstrate your strength, to prove your resilience, and to refine your discipline. Here's the bottom line. Challenges aren't something to fear or avoid. They're the very things that will make you stronger, more capable, and more successful. The Stoic knows that every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise, every failure is a lesson, and every discomfort is a tool for growth. The difference between those who win and those who lose isn't the challenges they face, it's how they face them. You've got the power to crush every challenge in front of you. Use these Stoic power moves, control your response, reframe failure, embrace discomfort, act with persistence, and own everything, and watch how your life changes. You're not here to play small. You're here to dominate, and every challenge is just another opportunity to prove it. It's time to stop fearing challenges and start crushing them. That's how you rise. That's how you win. That's the Stoic way. Chapter 12. The Stoic's Code of Winning, Building an Unstoppable Legacy. Winning isn't just about racking up temporary victories. It's not about achieving a goal, getting applause, and calling it a day. Real winning is about building something that lasts. A legacy so powerful, so unshakable, that it impacts others long after you're gone. That's what separates the greats from the rest. The weak aim for short-term success. They chase immediate gratification and crumble when the going gets tough. But the Stoic's code of winning is different. It's about consistency, discipline, and crafting a life that speaks volumes even when you're no longer around. A legacy isn't built overnight. It's the result of relentless discipline, day in and day out, regardless of the obstacles you face. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. They weren't just philosophers spouting wisdom. They were living examples of how to build a lasting impact. They knew that a legacy is not about wealth or fame. It's about strength of character, resilience, and leading by example. Here's the reality. Most people are focused on the wrong things. They're obsessed with status, with chasing fleeting wins, with doing whatever they can to get ahead in the moment. But all of that is temporary. The Stoic knows that the true measure of success isn't found in the applause of others. It's found in the quiet consistency of doing what's right, no matter how difficult. The Stoic lives by a set of values that are unshakable, and it's those values that ultimately define their legacy. The first part of building an unstoppable legacy is mastering the art of consistency. Anyone can achieve something great for a day, a week, or even a year. But to truly win, you need to be consistent over the long haul. Most people fail because they're inconsistent. They push hard when they feel motivated, but fall off when things get tough. The Stoic doesn't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. It's the day in, day out grind that builds a legacy. It's the small, consistent actions that compound over time and lead to greatness. Consistency isn't glamorous, and that's why most people avoid it. They want the big wins, the quick recognition, but they're not willing to put in the boring, repetitive work that actually gets them there. The Stoic, on the other hand, thrives in the monotony of hard work. They understand that greatness isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the quiet moments of discipline, when no one is watching. Every time you show up and put in the work, even when you don't feel like it, you're building your legacy brick by brick. The second part of the Stoics' code of winning is living by principles, not by emotions. The weak allow their emotions to dictate their actions. They make decisions based on how they feel in the moment, which is why they're inconsistent and unreliable. The Stoic, however, lives by a set of principles that guide every action, regardless of how they feel. These principles, courage, justice, wisdom, temperance, are the foundation of their legacy. When you live by principles, you become unshakable, because your actions aren't swayed by the chaos around you. You remain grounded, focused, and clear-headed, no matter what life throws at you. This is where the real power lies. When you live by principles, you become a leader. People trust you, not because of what you say, but because of how you live. They see your consistency, your discipline, and your commitment to doing what's right, and they're inspired by it. Leadership isn't about commanding others, it's about leading by example. The Stoic knows that their legacy isn't just about their own success, it's about the impact they have on others. When you live by principles, you create a ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same. The third part of the Stoics' code of winning is resilience. Life will test you, no matter how strong, disciplined, or focused you are. There will be moments when you're knocked down, when everything seems to go wrong, and when it feels like the world is against you. But it's in these moments that your legacy is truly built. The weak crumble under pressure. They give up, make excuses, and complain about how unfair life is. But the Stoic sees adversity as an opportunity to demonstrate their strength. They rise, again and again, no matter how many times they fall. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's about coming back stronger every time. It's about using failure, rejection, and hardship as fuel for growth. The Stoic doesn't fear setbacks because they know that each one is a stepping stone toward greatness. It's this resilience that makes their legacy unbreakable. No matter how many obstacles they face, they keep pushing forward, building momentum with each step. This is what separates the greats from the rest, the ability to endure, to persist, and to thrive in the face of adversity. The final part of building an unstoppable legacy is living for something greater than yourself. The Stoics understood that true success isn't just about personal achievement, it's about contributing to the greater good. They lived with a sense of purpose, knowing that their actions, no matter how small, could impact others in a profound way. This is what makes a legacy last. It's not just about what you achieve, but how you lift others up in the process. The Stoic doesn't seek power for power's sake. They seek to empower others, to lead by example, and to make the world a better place through their actions. A legacy built on selfishness, greed, or ego will crumble the moment you're gone. But a legacy built on service, strength of character, and the betterment of others will stand the test of time. The Stoic lives with this understanding. They know that their actions have a ripple effect, that the way they live their life will inspire those around them, and that their legacy will be measured not just by what they achieve, but by the impact they have on others. Here's the bottom line. Winning isn't about one big victory. It's about building a life of consistency, principle, resilience, and purpose. The Stoic doesn't chase short-term wins. They play the long game, building a foundation so strong that nothing can tear it down. They understand that real success isn't about immediate gratification. It's about leaving a legacy that lasts long after they're gone. So, how do you build your legacy? Start by showing up every day. Do the hard work, even when no one is watching. Live by principles, not by fleeting emotions. Stay resilient in the face of adversity, and never let failure break you. And most importantly, live for something greater than yourself. Lead by example, inspire others, and make an impact that goes beyond your own success. Your legacy isn't built in a single moment. It's built over time, through every action, every choice, and every challenge you face. And if you live by the Stoic code, you'll build a legacy that's unstoppable, unshakable, and unforgettable. This is the Stoics' code of winning. It's not about flashy victories or short-term success. It's about playing the long game, building something that lasts, and leaving a mark on the world that can never be erased. Now it's time for you to put this code into action. Build your legacy, one disciplined action at a time, and watch how you transform not just your life, but the lives of those around you. Your legacy is yours to create. Make it unbreakable. As we approach the conclusion, if you've been enjoying the audiobook, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway has been. The Stoics' final victory: success beyond the battlefield. Success, in its truest form, isn't measured by wealth, status, or even recognition. The Stoics knew this, and it's a lesson that modern life often fails to grasp. You can have all the money, fame, and influence in the world, but if you haven't mastered yourself, your mind, your emotions, and your actions, then you're still a slave. The Stoics' final victory is this: mastery over oneself. It's about developing the kind of mental toughness and discipline that allows you to live on your own terms, no matter what life throws at you. It's about achieving success not just in the external world but in your inner world, where the real battle is fought. Most people spend their entire lives chasing external success: more money, more recognition, more stuff. They think that if they just achieve this one goal or reach this next milestone, they'll finally be happy, finally feel fulfilled. But here's the truth: external success is fleeting. It's never enough. The moment you reach one goal, you're already looking for the next. It's a never-ending cycle, and if you're not careful, it will consume you. The Stoics understood that real success isn't found in external achievements, it's found in mastery of the self. When you master your mind, your emotions, and your actions, you achieve a level of freedom that no amount of external success can provide. This is the final victory: achieving a state of inner peace and strength that no external event can shake. You've learned throughout this book how to develop unbreakable discipline, how to crush challenges, and how to live with relentless focus and resilience. But the ultimate Stoic lesson is that real success is internal. It's about mastering the self so completely that no matter what happens around you, whether you succeed or fail, whether you're praised or criticized, you remain steady, calm, and unshakable. That's real power. The Stoic doesn't measure their worth by external metrics. They don't care about the opinions of others, the trappings of wealth, or the fleeting highs of victory. They live by a deeper code, a code that prioritizes inner mastery above all else. The Stoic knows that life is unpredictable. You can't control what the world throws at you, but you can always control how you respond. This is where true freedom lies, not in controlling the external world, but in mastering your internal world. Think about the people who are truly free. They're not the ones with the most money or the most power. They're the ones who are in control of themselves, who are calm in the storm, who can handle anything that comes their way without losing their composure. That's the Stoics' final victory: becoming so mentally and emotionally strong that nothing can break you. You rise above the chaos, the distractions, and the nonsense that consumes most people because you've mastered the one thing that truly matters: yourself. The path to this final victory isn't easy. It requires relentless discipline, daily practice, and a constant commitment to personal growth. It requires facing your fears, overcoming your weaknesses, and developing a mindset of resilience and control. But here's the truth: this is the only path worth walking. External success will come and go. You'll win some, you'll lose some. But the internal success you build through Stoic principles will last a lifetime. Once you've mastered yourself, once you've achieved this final victory, nothing and no one can take it away from you. The Stoics' final victory isn't about reaching the top of the mountain. It's about mastering the climb. It's about becoming the kind of person who thrives in adversity, who remains calm under pressure, and who doesn't need external validation to feel fulfilled. It's about living with purpose, with discipline, and with an unbreakable sense of inner peace. That's what real success looks like. Now, as you move forward in life, remember this: the real battle is within. It's not about winning every external fight or achieving every external goal. It's about mastering yourself so completely that no matter what happens, you remain strong, focused, and in control. That's the Stoic way. That's the path to ultimate success. So here's your challenge. Apply what you've learned. Live with discipline. Face every challenge with resilience. Embrace discomfort and turn adversity into fuel for growth. But most importantly, strive for mastery of the self. That's the final victory. That's the success that will carry you through life, no matter what storms you face. Success isn't just about winning the game. It's about mastering the player. And when you've mastered yourself, you've already won. That's the Stoic's final victory, and it's yours for the taking.